Shalom Yasharali Yahawadam, Brother Malak, back with the biblical breakdown. This one is titled, If Not, Then Who? And I'm going specifically on the lines of the transatlantic slave trade in particular. But there were many slave trades. The Silk Road slave trade that Moab and I believe Moab did, the Silk Road slave trade, and then there was the transatlantic slave trade that the nation of Edom did, and then there was the sub-Saharan slave trade in which the Ishmael did. So all of these nations, man, they all have a recompense. They're all guilty of touching the Yahweh's people, enslaving his people, and they're all guilty. All of the nations are guilty. The nations that are prophesied in Psalms 83, 1-6, they're all guilty, man. But just to touch on it some more, I seen the video of Captain Tazariot and Gorilla Hebrew Sakari and the other Israelite brother. I don't know his name. And then you had Cooley, who's making his rounds in the manosphere, and they were going over the prophecies and scriptures and whatnot. And then they should have known that having the Edomite involved was going to cause some riffraff, because that's just what the serpent does, man. He's just a serpent. But he was basically alluding to the point that all the nations went into captivity, that all nations went into slavery, etc., etc. And to some degree, he's right. All nations have had their share in slavery, but no nation has endured or went into the chattel slavery as the Israelites have endured and went through. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. And what people have went into these slaveries. Well, I named them all at the beginning: the Silk Road, the Sub-Saharan, the Transatlantic, and a couple more. But when you do the history or the research, or more so it's a term that I want that's slipping me right now. I can't remember the term, but when you do I'm mad that I can't remember the term. But when you do well, I'll say worldly history, then you can tie everything together into the scrolls, into the Bible. So Deuteronomy 28:68, it says, "And Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again." If the Israelites were already in Egypt, how can the Israelites go back into Egypt again? Ding, 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 ding. Exactly. They went into bondage, slavery again. Remember, they were already in Egypt. Our ancestors, our people were in the bondage of being under the Egyptians, the Hamites. So this prophecy here, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68, where it states that Yahweh shall bring you into Egypt again, a second time you will go into Egypt. This is future reference. This is future prophecy. And that Egypt again was, let's just clarify some more of it. It says you will go into Egypt again with ships. That was the transatlantic slave trade. That's the transatlantic slave trade. You can't get around it because Egypt is right next door to Israel. They could walk into the Israelites, our ancestors. They could walk into Egypt. They don't need a ship to walk into Egypt. They can walk into Egypt. They don't need a ship to get to Egypt. But Deuteronomy 28:68 says, "And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way whereof I spoken to thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there you should be sold unto your enemies for bondman, for slave man, and for bond women, for slave woman." It says that no man shall buy you. And when it goes into the word buy, it's talking about redeem, because obviously you sell slaves. Obviously you sell slaves. So when it says no man shall buy you, it's talking about redeem. And we know who's going to be the redeemer of the Israelites. We know who's going to redeem us and bring us back to Jerusalem, Israel. Yahawashi HaMashiach, whom the world, or the people in the world, ignorantly call, Christ or Jesus or Christ. It says, I'll read it one more time. Deuteronomy 28:68. It says, "And the Lord Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. By the way whereof I spoken to thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there you should be sold into your enemies for slave man and slave woman, and no man shall redeem you." So only one nation of people went through that. That's the so-called African Americans, so-called Haitians, and the so-called Jamaicans, West Indians. African Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. We were on those boats, our ancestors. The Southern Kingdom was on those boats coming from the West Coast, or the West Ports of Africa. Uganda, Nigeria, Ghana. And they had a coast, or a post rather, on that coast called Judah Slave Port, Waiuda, or Judah Slave Port. And that's where they sold the Jews. They sold us from, our ancestors, forefathers and foremothers. They sold us from that coast. And then they also sold the Northern Kingdom as well. As I just got more information, the Borgia family, which are Edomites. They're Edomites, but they were selling the Taino Indians, when they came here to Turtle Island, when they came to America, and they seen the black and brown tribes, the Native Indian tribes of the Americas. They sold them all around as well. So, but this is really just prophecy of the Southern Kingdom and the Northern Kingdom being sold for breaking the commandments of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua. So that's what it is. But to bring the point home, no nation has went under this type of chattel slavery. And that's the whole point. So when that guy, the Edomite Esau, when he was on the podcast, he was talking about how everyone went into slavery, but nobody has endured or went under the measures of slavery that us Israelites have went under. And not only that, still the current oppression, still the current oppression and suppression, and still the current injustices today that the Israelites go through. The redlining, the loans, not giving loans to so-called black men or black women and black people in general. Still the filthy stuff that these nations do to the Israelites today. No nation has gone to it, or more so endured it, or gone through it rather. This proves that we are the Israelites. Because these nations, they, for the most part, the movers and shakers. Because you may have some Gentiles, you may have some heathens that feel bad or has come to the conclusion of the truth. You know, they feel bad, they want to change, and etc., etc. But for the most part, man, the devil will be the devil for the most part. But let's grab some more prophecy. More prophecy. We got Prophet Jeremiah. Prophet Jeremiah says, chapter 2, verse 14. It says, "Is Israel a servant?" So is Israel a slave? A servant is a slave. Slave is a servant. It says, "Is Israel a servant, a slave? Is the 12 tribes, is the sons of Jacob slaves? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he so spoiled?" So, Prophet Jeremiah was going into the fact that the sons of Jacob was just, in captivities and slavery. That's what Jeremiah is getting at when he asks this rhetorical question. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he so spoiled? Why are the sons of Jacob and the daughters of Jacob, for that matter, why is the nation, so spoiled? Why is they dispersed? Why are they dispersed? It says, Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 13, it says, "For my people have committed two evils, but this is why." Yahweh tells us why. Yahweh has a very good explanation on why his people have went under the atrocities that they went under and the things that they deal with today. It says, "For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters." What is the living waters? The living waters is this word, the book, the words, the gospel, chiefly the commandments of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua, the laws, the statutes, and commandments. It says, "For my people have forsaken the fountain of the living waters and hewed themselves cisterns, broken cisterns, that they cannot hold water." Verse 14, it says, "Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he so spoiled?" So that's why we went into these different captivities throughout the land, throughout the earth, which is prophesied, which is prophecy. Because Israel is stiff-necked, man. Israel is stiff-necked, man. We are a stiff-necked people. Stiff-necked people. To this day, man, we go out there on those highways and hedges. When we go out there, or with these digital epistles, and we tell Israel, or if we word to mouth and we tell Israel what's the truth and what's the gospel, most don't want to hear it. Most, think they know what they're saying. Most of the Israelites, they just go wayward. They don't want to take heed to the truth of truth. But I mean, that's just the prophecy being fulfilled. Israel is just stiff-necked. Let's grab Proverbs. Proverbs. Proverbs 1:22. It says, "How long, you simple ones, will you love simplicity, and the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge? Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. Because I have called and you refuse. I have stretched out my hands, and no man regardeth, but ye have set at naught all at my counsel. It would none of my reproof. I will also laugh at your calamity. I will mock you when your fear comes. When your fear comes as a desolation, and your destruction comes as a whirlwind. Distress and anguish come upon you. Then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me." And this prophecy took place in all of those captivities. Just imagine how our ancestors felt through those captivities: sub-Saharan slave trade, transatlantic slave trade, Silk Road slave trade, and all of the other stuff that they endured here, here in the Americas. And all of this stuff happened because Israel is just a stiff-necked people, man. They just hard-headed. Let's go into Isaiah. I want Prophet Isaiah as well. So I'm kind of bringing it home to why we went into these captivities. That's what I'm showing you Israelites that's listening. And for you agents that's listening too. We know you agents listen to our digital epistles, but we're not worried because the angels and Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is also watching and listening as well. Nobody gets away scot-free. Nobody gets away scot-free. Isaiah, what is Isaiah? Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3. It says, the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel does not know, my people does not consider. Sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord, they have provoked the Holy One, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai of Israel, unto anger. They are going away backwards. So that's why we went into these situations. And that's why we deal with some of these situations today. You know, the sins and the iniquities of our forefathers and foremothers, the nation of Israel, which is all prophecy, which is all prophetic, which proves that we are the Israelites, which proves that we are the Hebrew Israelites, which proves that we are the Jews, which proves that we are God's chosen people. It even tells you that this would be a sign for Israel. Let's grab Daniel, Prophet Daniel, chapter 9, verse 12. It says, Daniel chapter 9, verse 12, it says, and he hath confirmed his words which he has spoke against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. It says, for under the whole heaven have not been done as has been done unto Jerusalem. And there you go. There you have it. So when that Edomite utters his filthy lips and says, everybody went into slavery. Everybody, blah, blah, blah. You know, they like to downplay it. So when they try to downplay the prophetic captivities of Judah and Israel, when they try to downplay the prophetic captivities of Judah and Israel, here we have the prophecies and this scroll and the scrolls to back up that not all nations have went under what the children of Israel has experienced. And this is why we're going to get the kingdom. When you think about it, we went through all of this hell to finally get the heaven of heavens. When you really look at it, everything. But Daniel chapter 9, verse 12, it says, and he hath confirmed his words which he spoke against us and against our judges that judged us. It says, by bringing upon us a great evil, for under the whole heaven has not been done as has been done unto the 12 tribes of Israel, Jerusalem. So no nation has dealt with what this nation has dealt with. With that, I'm going to say, Kol Halam La Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai.